Hey everyone, it's Diabetic Danica and welcome to day 3, Wednesday of Diabetes Blog Week. Today's topic is called Clean It Out, and it reads, what is in your diabetic closet that needs to be cleaned out? This can be actual physical belonging, or it can be something you're mentally or emotionally hanging on to. Why are you keeping it, and why do you need to get rid of it? So first, I'm going to take it literally. I'm going to go the physical route. Let me just show you my diabetes drawer and then you will understand more. The infamous diabetes drawer. Look, there's already a bag hanging out. That's how messy it is. Oh, beautiful. You just dig through it to find what you need. Basically, my diabetes drawer is a mess. I mentioned this yesterday, but like, there's just stuff in there that doesn't need to be in there. There's empty boxes, there's empty wrappers, there's trash, there's a lot of stuff. But I've just stopped cleaning it out, and I don't know, if you let things go like that, diabetes can get really messy. Also, the bottom of my bags. The bottom of my bags are just always filled with test strips. My backpack, my purse, any other bag I use will end up with test strips on the bottom of it, inevitably. I almost couldn't think of that word. Now let's talk about the deeper ones. What mentally or emotionally am I hanging on to, or do I need to clean out? I feel like I can't think of any. Honestly, like, I've had diabetes for 11 years now, and when I was first diagnosed, I went through a grieving process where I just wondered why me, and had to learn how to overcome my fear of needles, and I just struggled with why I had the disease and what was happening to me and how my life was changing. And then I don't know how many years later, I want to say like 3 or 4 years later, I actually relived it all, and I didn't realize that I needed to do that. So I went back in my mind one night and I just went over the whole diagnosis and like what it was like and what it was like to be in the hospital, and I just went over all the details in my mind that I kind of blocked out. I think because it was such a traumatic experience for me, just being diagnosed with an illness and having to stay in the hospital at 11 years old for 3 days, that I hadn't really thought about it again. At least not in that vivid of detail and in that imaginative way. And so I did that, and I think that was one way that I had kind of cleaned out emotionally, if that makes sense. I'm not saying I erased emotions from diabetes, I'm just saying that I took diabetes and I dealt with it. And there's a siren. We're just gonna wait for that to pass. So I guess what I was getting rid of was my, I don't know, shock, I guess, over getting diabetes and just the initial everything that went around it, and I was able to remember it and deal with it and work through it at a time when I was no longer freshly hit with diabetes. It had been a couple years, and so I was able to process it better, if that makes sense. So I feel like the emotional, mental part I've kind of already made shiny and polished and new, but that doesn't mean that I don't go through rough patches. So I am a very positive person, obviously, and I try to focus on the positive in real life and in my videos, but there are definitely times where diabetes just gets you down, and I'm not saying that because I've dealt with it and because I've accepted it and moved on in a way emotionally that I don't still get emotionally brought down, because I definitely do. Like, if I have a day where every blood sugar is high, or I keep having something go wrong with diabetes no matter what I do, I get frustrated and I get mad, and that's just kind of what happens. And I don't think that's bad. I don't think that's something you have to clean out necessarily. It's okay to be mad when things don't go right, and as long as you channel it into something that doesn't hurt anybody or yourself, then that's fine. You know, take that little moment to feel that, but just don't stay there. Don't stay there. Just move out of it and move onward with your life and back to positivity. That's also a little bit of why I try not to focus on a cure too much. I definitely hope that there'll be a cure someday, and if there was a cure tomorrow, I would take it. Let's be real. Like, as much as I've taken diabetes and made it positive, it would just be a lot easier without it, I guess you could say. And I just, certain worries I have, like, I guess one emotional baggage thing that I have from diabetes is that I do have a, subconscious worry about complications. It's not like something that consumes me. I don't think about it all the time, but there is that just kind of back there knowing that someday something could go wrong. And like, even though I tried really hard, I kept my blood sugars in range, once I get old. Like, I'm really worried about going blind just in general, not even related to diabetes, just because I hate not being able to see, but the fact that like that could happen, I guess, even though there's no guarantee it's going to happen, and you know, I could be fine, whatever, but just that fear, I guess, is kind of there, you know, you just never know. So, but I don't focus on that, because if you focus on that stuff, you're never going to make it through life happy. So you just got to choose the good stuff and do the best that you can and try the best to get the best blood sugars, and that's all you can do, and that's the best you can do. And so that's what I try to do every day. Okay, but that was kind of off topic, so I lost my train of thought. Basically, I guess one of the mental barriers I've overcome is just focusing on what it was like before I had diabetes. Like, I also don't focus on that. I choose to just accept that this is my life now, and that, you know, for now I'm not going to be non-diabetic, and I have extra stuff to do. And so I think since so much time has passed, I've really come to terms with it, and I just know that this is my life, you know? I'm just saying it the same way, but basically I'm not comparing my life to other people's. I try not to do that. So I remember one time when I was little, this is turning into a really long video, but one time when I was younger, I was at a sleepover, and I guess when you're at a sleepover, you just realize people's routines more, and I just realized, like, I had to do so much more crap that no one else had to do. Like, it was before bed, and I think I checked my blood sugar, I think I might have been on shots then, I think I went low, and I had to eat, and like, it was all this extra stuff, and my friend was ready to go to bed, and she was really sweet and great and everything, but it just hit me in a wave that, like, this is so much more work than she has. Like, I wish that I was like my friend. And you can't live in that spot, because if you're constantly focused on other people and what they get to do or what they can do more easily than you can, it's not going to be good for you. So I try not to think about that either, because if you're constantly comparing yourself, you're not going to be happy in anything, not just diabetes. If you're comparing yourself anything, looks, athletic ability, smarts, anything, you're just going to bring yourself down. So anyway, I hope I kind of answered the question. This was kind of a broad question. I feel like I didn't have one specific thing I wanted to say, but those are my thoughts on cleaning it out mentally, emotionally, and physically. So I'll see you guys tomorrow for tomorrow's Diabetes Blog Week video. Bye! Don't forget to like this video if you liked it, and subscribe. So basically, to sum up, I cleaned out or got rid of wondering why me. I got rid of comparing myself to others and what I have to do to keep myself healthy to what other people do to keep themselves healthy. And I got rid of focusing on future complications or things that could potentially go wrong, but they might never go wrong.